Oh, there she is. Ah.
Care Bear, it's me. It's your brother Lincoln.
Here's me and my buddy Link going out for some fish and chips.
Yeah.
Walking down the street that they live on. How you doing, Link?
Good. How are you?
All right, dude. Okay, we're going out for some
Guess what
fish and
Mama
chips.
said. Mama said
This is now. Go ahead, Mom.
Windsor Castle.
Windsor Castle Museum.
Wow.
Yeah, such a pretty home.
It's cool. It's
Oh.
got like big thing. Look in the middle.
Is this? Basically, maybe this is just in your backyard was the most.
Cotswold. Cotswold.
This is incredible.
Oh my goodness.
You don't know what wold means, but you're showing. Are we on video?
Yeah.
Oh, hey there, Dad.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Behind me is an old Roman road, over 2,000 years old, and we're working our way down to the prison that Paul and Peter were in, the Mamertine prison.
No, we don't want to go to Palatine.
Downstairs is where Paul was placed in prison. We really remember
Peter.
about the prison epistles.
And Peter.
And Peter. Very dimly lit in here. This is the prison that Paul was in and Peter was in.
Anti-social, social.
Because as you can see, there is nothing under. But they decided to show that we're moving direction so that we can see that it's
So fast. I mean, if she had what? That's why I'm sure I have a clue. I did not take that.
Look at the bridge. You see the bridge?
This is where Jesus was born in Bethlehem, right behind me.
Like this, divided also into 3 parts. I mean, outside door is one. is done. Bring down this river.
Okay, if I could have your attention, we're standing on the Mount of Olives, and traditionally, olives were grown here. The olives were gathered, and they were taken by a lamb as a sacrifice. So later on, the first and second temple are built in this spot. Now, up until
Gethsemane. Okay, here we are, standing in front of the Garden of Gethsemane. You can see the olive trees behind us. This is where Jesus prayed in the garden and the disciples slept. And if I turn around, behind me is the temple, the walls of Jerusalem, and the temple. That's how close it is.
Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is where the cross is, the stone they think that Jesus' cross was in, and the empty tomb. It is at least in this area.
Behind me is the western wall of the temple. That's the Sea of Galilee. Sea of Galilee. This is the Sea of Galilee. It's believed that Jesus and possibly Peter lived in this house. These are homes, and over there is the synagogue.
so we see
In Capernaum.
More likely to say when for example, if you visit En Gedi,
We are now at the Jordan River. Okay, we're on the island of Cyprus, the city of Paphos. The Apostle Paul, Barnabas, and John Mark. This is the first stop and the first missionary tour that they made. Here they converted the emperor, the Roman emperor. So this became the first city in the Roman Empire that became Christian initially. Paul was arrested by the Jews, and he was beaten at that stake right behind me. He was beaten at that stake 39 lashes.
Nothing, okay? They didn't bring here the columns. They just carved them.
Tomb of the Kings. Island of Crete.
Fabulous, I guess.
Internal court framed with these wonderful.
We are now in Rhodes, Greece.
Master's Palace of Rhodes.
In Rhodes, Greece.
And get out.
The house behind me is a house that Mary lived in, and John, the Apostle John, in Ephesus.
Temple of Artemis.
So, everybody, I want you to come closer because I'm
Everybody here?
okay, everybody. Yes, I know, that's why it's called.
This street is from the 1st century.
Looks like this in those years, so you can compare.
This will move this way.
Third largest library
At Ephesus.
in Ephesus. Third largest in the world and the second largest
Place where they sold groceries and items, but also an idol, Artemis. Paul preached about Artemis not being a god, that they should only worship Jesus. The Apostle Paul was taken to prison on this road behind us.
The style Doric, you see the reconstruction of the ceiling is completely new. The ceiling.
Okay, this is a view of Naples, Italy. Mount Vesuvius in the background. Dragon ruts, almost 3,000 years old.
And anyways, but smaller and the Romans copied from the Greek houses. You know, the Romans.
2,700-year-old bathhouse.